Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that the show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I am Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show. Welcome. Again. Well, we also have a borderline third mic that we might start incorporating this.
Our
we have
new fact checker.
Yeah. Since we can't get any of our friends to come on to check facts for us, we have to rely on technology. So we have Alexa with us.
Welcome, Alexa.
So we are testing out a little bit. She's not the brightest. She's good at some things, but others, as if you have one, I mean, I know Cerny and I myself, between us probably have a dozen.
Oh, yeah.
Littered throughout the house. But regardless, it's a fun thing to do. What do you use your, we're already off fucking topic. What do you use your Alexa for mostly?
If I need a question or what's the weather or,
oh, yeah.
You know.
Do you have any of the lights?
No. I keep
Father's Day is coming up, Cerny.
This is true. So we'll actually listen afterwards. So.
Okay.
Maybe I'll text it to her.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, last minute gift idea. Well, sort of related to Father's Day, people that aren't good fathers.
Oh.
Bill Cosby is this is sort of breaking news. Do we have a breaking news thing? No, we have fake news.
Fake news.
This is not fake.
This is not fake news. This is
breaking as of recording time. So whenever you listen to it, I don't know.
All right, shh. CNN, fuck yourself, your autoplay ads, autoplay video shit. So, as you probably know, the 79-year-old Bill Cosby is in trial for multiple sexual assaults.
Yeah,
is that what it?
Sexual assaults.
Okay, and misconduct. All right, the high-profile case of Bill Cosby, the aggravated indecent assault. It ended today. And how did you think that this was going to go, Cerny?
So, I haven't really been following the case itself because I assumed guilty.
So
this is a slam dunk guilty.
I guess we'll give a little bit of context. It seemed, Bill Cosby, the very famous and very staunch, was he? I don't know if he was conservative politically. He was always very conservative as far as saying or he was very outspoken with, African Americans shouldn't wear baggy clothes and they shouldn't talk. Like he was very, I don't know the right word to use for that. Cerny, what would you?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to look up how many women have.
Accuse him. Okay,
yeah.
So Cerny's here checking facts. I will continue to go off topic. Anyway, he was also very cut and dry, square edge sort of, or straight edge rather. And it appears over the course of his career.
I think he was a big support. He was one of those supporters of the African Americans movement, and they cleaned it up. Obviously, not a big supporter of.
Yeah,
poor choice of words there, Cern. But he was,
he was an outspoken against like the rap music and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He would always have, I don't want to say a beef, but if Tupac or Biggie was into that, he was very much against that kind of stuff. He thought that portrayed African Americans in a poor light or wasn't good for the movement or whatever thing.
It seems to be about 58
accusations
yes.
of sexual assault over his career.
58.
There was many things here, and he had a couple settled lawsuits against some women that maybe it's not disclosed, but it's assumed that maybe he paid them off to drop the suit or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
And the thing was that they would always say he would have me up for drinks in his room or whatever, or we would be out somewhere.
Quaaludes, I believe, was it?
Yeah.
And then
drop some lewds, take a lewd
dude,
touch, and then fondle and do all sorts of naughtiness. And he very much, so now instead of being this lovable family man, sort of, he's now a creepy old dude that a lot of these women were sort of seemingly coming out of the woodwork to sort of accuse him, like, oh yeah, I did this sort of stuff. So kind of, I get, not as high profile, but sort of, and not with underage children, but sort of Sandusky-esque, this very high profile person, a very, shining light in the community sort of thing, and then it has this very dark side. So it very much seems
Sandusky, but it would be more Paterno, Joe Paterno.
Oh, right. Like he kind of knew about it or whatever. But
you ride that wave of fame and everyone loves you. Fucking finish line.
Right, and then comes crashing down. So we've delayed enough. The verdict on the Bill Cosby trial is a mistrial. Now, this was in Pennsylvania where they had this, and it was they went unable to come to a decision. Hung jury.
So there were 7 men and 5 women deadlocked.
So, I don't know, and obviously we weren't there, and I haven't really seen any of this. It seemed like it was kind of a slam dunk, and people were like ready to bury this guy.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't even follow it, because it was like, I already, in my head, I was like, I kind of know how this is going to play out.
And it was also weird, too, because even when all these accusations were coming out, his wife, Camille, who people obviously are kind of assuming that she knew about a lot of this stuff, because it's like, I
don't know how.
It's the same. I mean, I hate to go back to the Sandusky thing, but like his wife, he would have these kids over in his basement and stuff, and it's like she had to have known that's, I'm sure she walked in or something. How could he be raping away with fucking Quaaludes and stuff, and allegedly, and his wife not catch him or something like?
It's like
it's
denial,
just too obvious.
or it's at some point. It's not like it's 1 or 2.
Right.
What is it? 58.
Yeah.
58.
Even if half of them were bullshitting.
Yeah. Now we're getting to statistically where we got an issue.
Right. There's a problem here. So she lambasted the prosecution judge in media. This is her direct quote after the scathing statement from his wife, who is how old?
I don't know.
I'm guessing she's.
Let me ask Alexa.
Okay. Camille Hanks.
Alexa, how old is Camille Hanks?
Bill Cosby is 79 years old.
That's not what I asked Alexa. Thanks.
Well, Alexa, you're setting fire to your trial run here on the Chip and Cern show, so don't get too fucking.
I'll look her up. Well.
She says, "How do I describe the district attorney? Horrendous and explosively ambitious. How do I describe the judge? Overtly and arrogantly collaborating with the district attorney. How do I describe the counsels for the accusers?
Okay.
Totally unethical. How do I describe many, but not all general media? Blatantly vicious entities that continually disseminate intentional omissions of truth for the primary purpose of greedily selling sensationalism and at the expense of a human life."
Fake news.
So
Camille Cosby is 73.
Okay. I guess she's not putting out or something. When was the most recent accusation of this Bill Cosby stuff?
I don't know, because a lot of them, I think they were, back in the Bill Cosby
the heyday.
Yeah.
Now, we were looking when Bill...
I think it was... Didn't he frequent the Playboy Mansion quite a bit?
Oh, really? So, I did not know that. His acting career really kicked off during the Fat Albert thing that started. Let me see. That was... series started in 1972, and it ran for a couple of years into the 80s. And then... obviously, he's most famous for
The Cosby Show.
The Cosby Show, which started in 1984. Let me see. During the 70s, Cosby and other African-American actors, including Sidney Poitier, joined forces to make some of the most successful comedy films. that countered black exploitation.
Exploitation. Okay.
Yeah, films. So
Black is it exploitation?
yeah, like they're exploiting
Exploiting
blacks.
them? Yeah, okay.
Let me see. Yeah, Cliff and Claire Huxtable. So he was kind of the dad, and he wore all those fucking stupid sweaters and shit.
Yeah.
So fucking annoying. So the Cosby Show went off the air in 92. So by the time it was off the air, he was 92.
He raped at least 30 women.
He was
by then.
doing a lot of raping during this. So and I remember when this stuff would come out and there was all these, people coming out of the woodwork. They would show clips of the Cosby Show where he kind of mentioned something about this stuff. Like there was one in particular where they're
I
like,
didn't see that
I gave her Cliff's special juice or something, and she just goes right away. And he was like making a joke about it, and he was like
I
making
didn't see
punch or something, and everyone was like, "This is really fucking weird." Someone obviously had to have remembered that or something, but it was. I watched the clip again, and it was like, oh, this is really eerie because he was saying that he.
Oh, he was bold.
He
was bold.
And it's like, he was he couldn't be caught, he thought.
Drunk with power.
There we go. Drunk.
Well, his ladies were drunk. Just drunk.
Just straight drunk. All right. Oh, here we go. Sexual assault allegations. The earliest incidents took place in the mid-'60s. And then since then, Cosby has been accused by more than 50 women of either rape, drug-facilitated sexual assault, sexual battery, child sex abuse, or sexual misconduct.
Child sex abuse, huh?
Uh-oh. That's, okay. And
now, can they go back, and
the statute of limitations?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Nail your ass, do something you did in the 60s?
That's where I think some of these are getting off. And I know a lot of these other women have, most of the alleged acts fall outside of the statute of limitations for criminal legal proceedings, but numerous civil lawsuits have been brought against Cosby.
Okay.
They also target his lawyer and one that implicated his wife and manager, because I guess she let that go. So the major lawsuit that happened way back in 2015 by a high-profile attorney, she represented. It was like a class action.
Was it,
33
was it Gloria
victims.
Allred or something?
Yeah, Gloria Allred. Yep. So it was essentially a class action sexual assault thing. Cosby admitted in his testimony to casual sex using Quaaludes with a series of young women, including a admission that he used drugs, or the admission of his use of drugs in the 70s that was illegal.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. And Camille still stands by him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the Quaaludes is what? Did you ever watch The Wolf of Wall Street with Leo DiCaprio?
Yeah, but I don't.
He got big into Quaaludes there,
That's
and
right,
he
that's
took
right.
a bunch, and he was trying to drive, but he took so many he couldn't walk. He was like
Yeah, I wonder.
like army crawling to the fucking car, and he got in the car and crashed it. But you do the ludes, and then you do a big fucking mountain of cocaine, and you're
right
straight.
back to zero. Right back to
you're back to base. All right,
Sound
so
logic, sound
he at the end of the year in 2015, he was charged with sexual assault in Pennsylvania, and
Okay.
he warrant was issued for his arrest. He remained free on $1 million bail. Each charge
It's a
carried.
drop in the bucket for Mr. Cosby.
Oh yeah, that's nothing for him.
all the Jello money.
Now, he was also like doing stand-up still during like all of 2016.
Which is weird. Would you go to that?
Oh, like I think he was selling out because there was all these people that,
Want to see his last hurrah?
and there's this weird, I don't want to say slut shaming, but like, oh, these women are just trying to get free money. I'm like, I'll give you sure, maybe one or
There's a
two
few
are,
of
but
them,
there's
yeah,
50
sure.
people.
50,
like,
yeah,
go
there's-
fuck
come on.
yourself.
Like,
do you think?
statistically, come on.
Yeah.
I
They-
thought he was. That's the reason why I thought he was. I was so guilty. Is part of that. There's that big movement right now where like Wonder Woman. The big woman's
Oh, yeah.
power. And I thought,
Oh, they're gonna nail him. with
wrong time to
this.
get in front of that train.
Oh, that's true.
And then somehow he dodges it.
He did, or hung
For
jury.
for now, because I see that the prosecution says they will not. They're
Of
coming
course,
back again.
yeah. Now, yeah. Well, I guess the trial only lasted 12 days.
which is weird.
And they're going to seek to retry, obviously. Each charge carried a maximum sentence of 10 years. Could either be served concurrently or consecutively, determined by the sentencing judge if he was convicted. Well, I mean, he's 80. He's going to be 80 in like a month.
Yeah,
So I don't know how many concurrent 10-year sentences he can serve. But, yes. Okay. This is going back to our original topic a little bit. He has made public remarks critical of African Americans who put higher priorities on sports, fashion, and acting hard than on education, self-respect, self-improvement. He was pleading for African American families to educate their children on many different aspects of African or American culture.
That's what we call a callback.
Yeah.
I just
He's a Protestant. 5 children: Erica, Aaron, Esna,
are they all from
Evan,
Camille?
Enos. Yeah, 5.
Legitimate. How many illegitimate?
No, that we don't know. He
And neither what is neither were the mothers.
wow, his son was murdered while
That's right.
changing a flat tire.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the side of the road on
He
the
was by some
405.
crazy man. Yeah, he was changing flat tire. He got executed. I think it was like a Russian guy or something. It was something weird. It was just like
Oh.
weird.
Just a wrong place, wrong time thing. He wasn't.
Yeah, I think it was. He just got executed.
Wasn't sought out. A callback to Cerny's earlier mentioned. Cosby hosted the Los Angeles Playboy Jazz Festival from 1979 to 2012. A lot of puss around that place. A lot of puss there. He probably didn't. Wow. And then George Lopez has hosted the event since.
Oh, there's a
The
guy.
real fucking drop off there.
No, didn't he get in trouble for the prostitute or something? He got busted with a prostitute.
Oh, I'm sure. Do you want me to should we start getting to George Lopez's Wikipedia page? We're going to fucking throw this course way off course. Or this ship way off course.
I just know if you do it off the top of your head.
I did not.
I stand by my statement.
Okay.
Unless someone corrects me.
I can check. We don't, the haters have often personal life. Here we go. They got divorced.
Oh.
This is George Lopez we're talking about.
Yeah, and his wife, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Not George Lopez, Bill Cosby.
Oh, he had a kidney. He donated his kidney.
Wow. Generous.
I don't see. Now I'm going to go with the Googling of George
Lopez
prostitute. Uh-oh, Cerny. I'm not. This isn't looking good for you.
It is not.
There's some, what I would say, like TMZ type sites. George Lopez divorcing. Of course, there are prostitutes. And Hooker says George Lopez called her and a friend while he was in. Oh, from the National Choir.
I stand with TMZ.
Okay. All right. George liked to get some hookers. And, of course, there's a Tampa connection.
Well.
So, we'll say that's up in the air. There's not too many hard facts on that one.
Steer back on course with Mr. Cosby.
Bill Cosby. Okay. So, and a lot of... They pulled his, the reruns from the Cosby Show and all this stuff when all this was going on. Well, what do you think? Oh, he's now legally blind as well.
You know what I was going to say? He looks like, when he puts the sunglasses on, he looks like Ray Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I was like, holy shit, he looks like Ray Charles. I think at some level, I don't know if all 58 he was raping, but
yeah,
at least 60%.
Yeah, I mean, there's just got to be some. There's not that many people that.
That's a lot, and there was, he knew each one, and I really can't understand the Camille's standpoint. Is she just taking a stance until he kicks the bucket, and then she's gonna collect his
have
wealth,
a book or something maybe
like that? I don't know.
That's not a bad thought there.
It's a business play for her, and maybe the same reason that
I mean, they've been together for 30, 40 years almost.
Hillary stayed with a business
Just
play.
a business.
I don't know.
You don't think the sex was good in the Clinton marriage, Cerny? Or
Well, one way it was.
Yeah.
One side was.
Oh, yeah. Bill was getting
He was slaying.
dipping his wick. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not super surprised that this trial is a hung jury. One, because the case is so old, so there's not a lot of there's not going to be a lot of DNA evidence, and there wasn't, at this time, it was probably like, oh, well, hey, you want to be on my show for a season? You can, let me stick it in or whatever. And she never, there's no rape kits or a lot of stuff that would have happened now. I don't know how, I don't think there's going to be anything like this that can even happen. Well, it can happen, but starting, with cameras and phones and stuff, I don't,
and DNA
it would be almost
kits
impossible.
and stuff you're screwed.
There won't be so much raping.
No.
High profile raping going on. I mean, even look at Jeter, who did it, just a gentleman. The word about, that when you sleep with him, you get a nice gift basket with an autographed baseball and your fucking Uber ride home.
That's right.
Even that got out.
Yeah.
And he's not doing anything illegal.
Being respectful.
He's a bachelor. He's just being a good guy. So, well,
made the walk of shame.
Yeah.
more
your
fancy.
black car's here for you. And
a gift basket.
what's your name again? I'll sign a ball for you. Here you go, kid. Has your opinion on Bill Cosby changed at all? Were you ever a big fan, or? I don't think I've really ever seen the Cosby Show before.
I watched the Cosby Show when I was in middle school or something. I mean, obviously they were reruns because
yeah, wasn't live.
That wasn't live. And I thought it was okay.
What was the print like?
It was just I think he was a doctor. He was actually a family doctor. I think he was a gynecologist or something.
With a lot of
thickens.
So it's like a black version of Home Improvement in the 80s almost.
Yeah, and I think it was a little more groundbreaking for the time because it wasn't because it was they were just a family. I think prior to that, I think I'm basing this off of the Chappelle stand-up where they characterized black people a little more, so it was more of
there's never been a whole family of a whole African American family that had their own show type thing in the 80s, or
Good Times and stuff. I believe Jefferson's. I believe.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But I think it was one of those. It was a decent show. Yeah.
Okay.
And I always thought he was okay.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. It wasn't
I've never sought out any of his comedy or anything.
No,
I've heard
I
he's
think
funny,
but because it's before our time as well. That's the hard part for his prime was a good 10 years before we were alive.
That's true. Now, the Chappelle Show stand-ups that he had on Netflix. Now he talked about the Cosby stuff a little bit, right?
Yeah, I remember he had the superhero that rapes and saves and rapes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. Well, Chip and Cern broke some news for you today. Well, it won't really be breaking news by the time
just know
you hear
that
this.
it was us first.
We attempted to break, but our release schedule held us back.
The FCC won't allow us to broadcast this live.
Yeah.
on the FM.
We could try it on. I would be curious to see what some of his testimony would say. Or did he testify, actually?
I don't know. Again, I'm really following this whole proceeding. I wonder how that would be.
Yeah.
Who's that? He's legally blind, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like his life's not going to finish out on a high note. It's definitely going to be a black mark on his career and everything. So, I mean, I hope it sucks that these women that had this done to them can't get some vindication for it or monetary compensation. I don't know. I'm sure that's not what they want out of it. They just want probably the truth to come out. I would.
Yeah, I assume. For the most part, I assume they'd want the truth. I mean, I don't know. Again, I do think he probably is guilty of
some of those. I would have
some of those absolutely yes,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm reading here a little bit. Like Bill Cosby called some of these women 72 times before and after. they had been alone in the hotel room, gave him Benadryl, like a lot of Benadryl. That was confusing. And when these women would have to come up and testify, they're probably testifying about stuff that happened in the 80s or like,
oh yeah,
that's 30 years ago. I mean, that's going to be kind of tough to recall that
Your memory might be
specific
a little bit
thing.
altered, yeah.
You probably were drunk. You're all fucked up on lewds and shit. And you're trying to remember everything. And, oh, what happened this? And there's no phone records. Like, I see how a mistrial happened. There just wasn't a lot of evidence, it sounded.
It's a little old. I wonder. I'm just thinking about this.
Yes.
I think if he's drinking with these girls, I assume they're down to party anyway. So why do you have to go? Why do you have to go and drug them?
Oh, from his point.
Just from if let's just say he did do.
Oh, I see.
Like,
I'm guessing that they probably... He was a huge role model to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So it was... I mean, if our role model I had said, hey, you want to get a beer, I'd be out of my mind excited. Might not want to suck his dick or fuck him. But, and then he probably was along the line like, oh, well,
True.
He thinks that they might be a little fast and loose since they're coming out to get a drink, and he might say something to them then, and he'll go, and they'll be like, oh, no, I'm not interested in that, because he's, if these are 20-something-year-old girls and he's 50 or 40, like, they might not necessarily be wanting to, he's not like, I don't think he's like a great-looking dude. He's kind of a little bigger, right? And
yeah.
So, I don't know.
He looks like Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, that's true. So, anyway, you can tweet us your thoughts on this whole Cosby situation and Chip and Stern Show. Right, Cerny?
Chip and Stern Show. You can, anything Chip and Stern Show, that would be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can email us at chipandsternshow@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, Black Friday sale, Chip and Stern Show, chipandsternshow.com/shop.
And if you're interested in hearing Alexa back on the show, let us know as well. We could set it up a little better. We can have her own mic.
Her own mic. This was like
This is something a little different we're trying.
For the moment.
We'll give her another shot, potentially.
Yes.
We'll see.
Let us know. A lot of times we tweet out there and it's a, hello, is anybody out there?
Yeah. Maybe we can make a bot that Alexa will tweet us back. Make us feel good about ourselves. Anyway, Bill Cosby, hung trial, mistrial. The old man is off for now until he dies in 5 years.
Five
or less. Anyway, until next time, I'm Chip.
Absurd.
Cheers.